take this guy up on it. Don't stop with the video to flatter what you already want to believe. Do your own research. Let's keep going. I'm getting a bit fired up here.
By a bunch of politicians and bishops in a room deciding what made the cut and what didn't, out of mounds of texts, centuries after the fact. That's like building your spiritual life around the minutes of a corporate board meeting.
All right. He's painting a picture, isn't he? A picture of fiction. His picture is a giant pile of books, a committee going, yeah, this, no, not that, yeah, this, no, not that. Actually, this tells us a story, but let's do that. Da Vinci Code style of fiction here, because even the Da Vinci Code claims that there were more than 80 gospels, absolutely made up. The truth is the opposite. The core got locked in early, and that's where, I referred to it before, the Muratorian fragment. Don't let that name scare you. It's just the oldest surviving list of New Testament books. It's an ancient receipt, essentially, of here's what our churches read as scripture. So that names 22 of our 27 books that we have in the New Testament today. It's got the 4 Gospels, Acts, all of Paul's letters. And that's, 150 years after Jesus, and 150 years before that pagan emperor, Constantine, that he mentioned. And it was settled and being read while Christians were still dying, being persecuted, and getting fed to lions. So during that time, this is what was being used. So it actually didn't benefit them at all. But the Bible that they were reading then is largely the same that we're reading today. And it wasn't a popularity vote. There's 3 tests that they used. Did it come from an apostle? Did it come from a direct disciple of Jesus? Does it line up with scripture we already have? And do the churches everywhere already treat it as scripture? So that first criteria, does it come from an apostle? They said, does it come from an apostle or an eyewitness of an apostle? I mean, that's why you have the Gospels of Luke, etc. They weren't picking what they liked. They were recognizing what was already the real deal. And his board meeting line, it's a good line, but wrong picture. The councils didn't write the Constitution. They certified it. They held up the documents the apostles had already signed and said, yeah, this is where we hear our master's voice in them. It's like a jeweler with a diamond. He doesn't make it real by looking at it. He recognizes what's already real. And that's, it's completely opposite to what he was saying with his whole minutes analogy.
And Jesus never said, read my book, because the Bible didn't exist when Jesus was here. He said, follow me.
Bruh. If you don't trust it, how would you know that Jesus said, follow me? Do you see how this is an argument that goes nowhere? Because you read it in the book, in the Gospel of John, Matthew, and Mark. Jesus says, follow me. But if we are saying we can't trust it and people put it together and, there was all this other stuff that happened there, pagan emperor chose what books to go in. What if Jesus didn't say, follow me? What if Jesus said something else? You can't use the Bible as Jesus to shoot the Bible. You're sawing off the branch that you're sitting on. It's a false choice anyway, like follow me versus read my book. Jesus never split those. Jesus actually quoted scripture constantly. He said, not one stroke of scripture would fail in Matthew chapter 5. And he told his men to teach everything he commanded. Following him and receiving his word were the same thing. And it should be the same thing for us as Christians today.
His gospel was not about denominations, and it wasn't about brick and mortar churches.
He finishes off on a line that feels right, so it slides past you. Denominational point scoring, fair enough. Fancy buildings, sure. God's not impressed by architecture. We know that. Some of us know that, but, most of us understand when you read the Bible that that's not what's important. But don't let the vibe smuggle in the light, right? Jesus said, I will build my church, not a building, his people. And he didn't leave us guessing what the church believes. He left us the apostles' writings. So strip away the nice-sounding ending, and here's where, he's landed with Jesus with no reliable record and a truth behind the Bible that turns out to be whatever he reckons. That's not freedom. That's a bloke handing you scissors and the freedom to believe in the religion of you.